Hi again, James Walter Apidan here, and in this video I'm going to present the result of experiment for operators and expression. For the objectives of this experiment is to become familiar with the concepts of numbers, operators, and arithmetic operation in Python. Become familiar with the concept of comments in Python, using and not using comments, and replacing comments with code. Becoming familiar with the inputting and outputting of data in Python, evaluating simple expressions. So let's start. For the first part, we have here the linear equation here. So we have to take a look in the editor and it reads a float value, but it puts it into a variable named x and prints the value of a variable named y. Our task here is to complete the code in order to evaluate the following expression, which is this linear equation here, which should be assigned to y. So I have already created a code here, and we have this test data. We have to find the expected outputs in when we input this x as each of these integers. So first we have the x is equal to 0. Let's put it here. And as you can see, I have placed an multiplication operation beside here 3x because in algebra 3x raised to the fourth is also equal to 3 times x exponential of 4. That's why the double asterisk here is the exponential operation in Python. So 3x raised to the 4 minus 2x raised to the 3, as you can see here, plus quantity 3x minus 1 quantity raised to the 12, raised to the 2 rather, as you can see here. So with the sample input that x is equal to 0, we have to test what is y. So let's run this code. And as you can see, y is equal to 1.0. As y we have 1.0 here, we have the float. Because of this float function here, that we have x as a float. That's why if x is equal to 0, then y is equal to 1.0. And next is we have 1. So I will type it here. As you can see, it's 5.0 as I've already typed and explained here. And if x is negative 1, then y is 21.0 as can be seen like so. And we have the expected outputs here. Next, for the second scenario, we have here the comments. Well, code editor contains comments to improve and add or remove comments where it's appropriate or not, and easy to understand, and for the whole code to shorten up. As you can see, as I've already typed it here, with this second, let's show the numbers of the line. You can see here. With this second line, this program has, we have the number sign as the symbol or the code for Python to read it as a comment. So this program has been written 2 days ago. It is clearly not necessary or appropriate for the code. So you just had to erase this like so. And we have here a is equal to 2, which is, as the comment says, number of hours. Well, we had to rewrite this as HR, or the scientific term, or commonly used in physics. The HR symbol or the HR letter is considered as R. And next for the second, we can put it as it is, or we can just shorten it to sec. Next is to, let's see if this print R's, let's change this to HR, printing the number of R's, yes. And here we can see in the seventh line that there is a comment to print this to the print function. There's also a comment here that is typically the comment for the print function here. So we just have to erase this so that the print function will be operatable and can be displayed because it is needed as commented here, printing the number of seconds in a given number of hours. And let's change this to HR also times the seconds, or let's just change it to sec. Here we should also print goodbye, but programmer didn't have time to write any code. This is not really necessary, but since the programmers just stated it, well, for me it is not really necessary. If you don't have the time, then don't write it or just don't put it in a comment. But if you have a time, just use the print function and state display goodbye. So for me, I will just erase this. And for the last line, we have here the 3 R's. We don't see anything in 3 R's here. So we'll just put in an R, suppose. So as this can be seen, this is the end of the program that computes the number of seconds in an hour. See, it's now becoming understandable. And as you can see now, it is now short. And out of curiosity, let's just try to execute or run. And there we go. We have 2 hours. 2 seconds in hour is 700, 7,200 in American language, or 7,200 seconds within 2 hours. So for the next scenario, we have the task to complete the code in order to evaluate the results of 4 basic arithmetic operations. The results have to be printed console, so and so forth. So we just have to test the code here. I've already put it typewritten, as can be seen here. I've already put the variable a, and as can be interpreted here, input a float value for variable a. So we just have to put input inside the float function so that It is it can be, or rather it can be interacted in the Python shell. So I've already inputted here the print function of a plus b for the addition. It's the print function a minus b for the subtraction, print function of a asterisk b for the multiplication, and print function a slash b for the division. So let's try it out. And as you can see here, it can now be interacted because of the input function. So we'll just have to input any number or that we desire. If it is a float, we can just put in an integer and it will automatically be converted to a float. We just have, I'll just put in 1. Next is maybe 100. So let's see. And as expected, 1 plus 100 is 101.0 since it is a float. 1 minus 100 since it is a subtraction and the negative sign is pointed to the 100, we have negative 99.0. And since any number multiplicated or multiplied by 1, it is the same. So the result will be 100 with the float point 0. Next, the division. 1 over 100 or 1 divided by 1 is 0.01. And in my observation here, the result is as expected. The numbers are in floats because of the float function, and the arithmetic operations are also within expectation. For the conclusion and recommendations, it is important to carefully input the numbers as can be seen in the linear equation. You can see earlier, for the comments it is not necessary to include the comments in making the code as comments is used to emphasize the codes being used. It is recommended to analyze and include the comments that are emphasizing the codes. Well, that's all for this video and for this experiment 4. I'm James Watrapitan. Thanks for watching.